What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. It's Al Mega with the usual gang of Dave Elliott and, of course, Mr. Chris Buse. What's popping, fellas?
Go England. Go England.
Oh, how is that going? Yeah, did you guys win? Won?
No, the game's tonight.
It's tonight, okay.
Yeah, but excellent. I'm very happy for you guys. Excellent. Finally, England is getting there. Germany sucks, but we get a new coach, so here everything equals out.
Right? The comic world got comics and England didn't win anymore, right? It happened in the 60s. Since then, right? That you guys haven't done anything?
Yeah. No, pretty much. It's like literally this is the furthest the UK, England, I emphasize England, has got in any, not Scotland, Ireland, Wales, or anyone else. England has got in a kind of a big tournament since like for 55 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the last major one we won was the World Cup in 1966.
Jeez.
Wow.
You guys are thirsty. I have work colleagues from England, and they're like that people are apparently crying for tomorrow to be a national holiday. Is it true?
Well, actually, it's funny. There's one of Tesco, which is one of the British big supermarket chains. A lot of their stores are open till like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
of course. All of them are closed tonight, so that all of their employees can go home and watch the game.
That's how big it is. That's what I learned in America when there was the Super Bowl. The canteen closed at 10 o'clock, and they gave us all sandwiches. Saying there's no dinner, no lunch, no dinner. It's Super Bowl. Make your own sandwiches. We are closing for today.
Yeah, pretty much.
Crazy.
Although Tesco has come under fire because apparently they've only given their employees in England that time off. So if you work for Tesco's in Scotland or anywhere else like that, I'm sorry guys, but
really,
you're gonna have to carry on working.
So you got so greedy.
So I just posted out a new link for our friends to join us. So the link is live. You can just join us now. I just posted this on my other laptop.
Yeah,
excellent.
And do you know what? Because we're so kind-hearted, we're going to make this. So even though it's part 2 of John Buscema, we're going to make sure that like you can still watch it and catch up on the first one. You don't need to watch the first one. It's not something like that. There's a lot to enjoy on the first one. Please go back and watch it. There's some amazing artwork and information.
Definitely.
And we will also go a little bit back to the earlier days of John, but this is just a segment of pictures we're looking now. Dave selected excellent pencil work. We already enjoyed some of that excellent pencil work of John's in the first segment. So amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
a monster.
Yeah. I mean, it's clearly like if you go, obviously, you go back. We're looking back on John Buscema's career now, and unfortunately, he's passed. But we do get to actually look back and see it the whole. Everything he's done, and then you realize that these characters like Tarzan and Conan were just so natural to him. He did them so well, so beautifully.
But I think he did that well because he was a child of that era when that type of narrative was hot and popping. I think barbarians and Tarzan, with those stories from back then. So I think it allowed him to have even a greater imagination. So he definitely gets it spot on.
I think it's boggles the mind if you look at the bullpen Marvel had in the 60s. I mean, you had John Romita who could draw women like nobody else's business, and you had Kirby who had all this energy, this kinetic energy, and then you had Buscema who knew how to do anatomy. Yeah. And to this day, we have a lot of artists who still can't master anatomy. And he is the master. Learn from him. It's no coincidence. He authored the book Drawing the Marvel Way with Stan Lee, and I mean Stan Lee wrote a bit of copy there, but it's John who taught. It's John who sold the book, and every aspiring artist had a copy of this, and you could learn how to draw. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, no, John, and it was very interesting. There was a really nice quote from Jim Steranko who put sort of I put the finger out on it quite nicely in that, John Buscema was already sort of a very nice, a very good artist, very classically trained.
Yeah.
But because there was pressure at Marvel to, hey, draw the Kirby style. What he did was he pulled it in and just made he took from Kirby all the bits that he personally needed to develop his style, to make it more dynamic, the foreshortening.
Yeah.
But it was like, he took it, and without it, he was fantastic drawing, like taking over he could take, like, obviously he took over drawing the Fantastic Four, he took over drawing Thor once Kirby had left, but he did it so well.
There's a sort of, we will later look at some of his earlier works, which I picked from some of his earlier Marvel comics when they were called Atlas, and you can really see there is this period when John's work looks very static. It's very pretty, but it looks very static, and then there's this influence of Kirby, where this kinetic energy comes into his artwork.
I do want to ask something here, and Dave, since you may know, but what is this down here? Xerox, stamp, due date, stats,
oh yeah, so
code. What is this?
So basically, there's a stamp that would go on every single piece of original art that comes in.
Okay.
And so the Xerox basically means that somebody has to go off and make a Xerox, because everyone wanted to make sure we had copies of all the artwork.
Okay.
Not just the actual artwork itself. There was a box for Stan to approve.
So he had his own box, Stan.
Yeah, well, it showed. Well, quite naturally, whether that would be Stan, whether that would be whoever the editor-in-chief was at the time, it would have to be somebody. You'd have to prove that he'd seen it, or the editor-in-chief had seen it and signed off on it. Because everything was, you really do have to keep an eye on everything. So at least a copy had been seen, and they initialed it or crossed off. Due date.
Yeah, there's horror stories. I mean, we've seen rejected covers for some issues. There are rejected covers. We've heard horror stories about Jim Shooter, where he said, no, this is not good enough, redraw this. And you can be two minds about it, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's the job of the editor or the editor-in-chief to push the artist or the creator harder.
Well, there's the classic, probably one of the best known stories is when Chris Claremont and John Byrne were on their X-Men run, and what ultimately led to the death of Jean Grey was actually they'd drawn the issue. It was all fully drawn, all fully ready to go. Chris and John Byrne had already started on the next issue, and Jim Shooter saw it and was like, hold on a second, you can't let Jean Grey get away with killing like billions of people with just a smack on the wrist. Yeah. There's got to be, you've painted yourself into a corner here. She's got to pay for it. And so they did the death, which ended up being sort of one of the most, dramatic deaths in comics. And it was like, everybody I know was just like, oh my God, you're kidding. This was such a momentous change to the X-Men. But that was Jim Shooter going like, I'm sorry, hey guys, no, I know this is only a comic, but you can't be seen to get just let someone off after killing the world.
Yeah,
so I guess one of Jim's best decisions, huh?
Well, I think Jim had a very good reign in these early days, because if you also had Daredevil at the same time as Miller, I mean, we had a similar storyline where Frank said, "Well, I'm going to kill Elektra," and this is happening at the same time. I mean, this is just amazing stuff coming out there.
Yeah. But my point here was more of all of a sudden, Chris Claremont and John Byrne had to go back to that issue, redraw the ending, rescript it. It had to be inked, lettered, and colored in time for that book to go to the printer. So that was that's that crazy. It's like, oh crap, we've got to do this quickly. Yeah. And so so again, going back to your question about the stamps at the bottom, there's like a due date. So when is it due? Everything has a code to it.
Okay, so, I'm asking because when I saw code is not specific to this code up here, right?
Well,
the approved by the comics code. Yeah.
It could be. It could well be. It could, because again, everything would have had to have been seen.
Okay.
So approved. See, again, it's like one of the things about getting rid of the comics code and the way things have changed is the leeway to actually producing a cover. Like was, these days an artist can, if the book has to go to the printer tomorrow, an artist can be delivering the cover today.
Yeah.
And it'll still be in time because it'll make it. They'll have seen the rough. They'll have seen it. They've maybe have seen a sort of a half-finished version of it. It arrives in somebody's inbox and it goes off to the printers tomorrow. In those days, it had to come in so early that all of those things had to be checked. The comics code did have to take a look at it and had to approve it before it, because that stamp at the top was earned. You couldn't just stick it on.
Gotcha.
They probably put it on at this point thinking, well, it's Tars and they're going to approve it anyway.
Yeah.
But they had to see it.
Gotcha. And because, I want to say, you were talking about Jim Shooter. Look at him right here. Like, and what did they mean by a consulting editor?
Well, I'll just say one more thing about that previous piece, which is the thing about that piece is the cover it's John Buscema inked by Neil Adams.
Inked by Neil. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will see more of that later also. Yeah. Interesting combination. We saw it also in our previous episode where we saw some art by Neil, inked by Neil.
Yeah. So Jim Shooter being consulting editor, obviously, like if you look at the initial credit, Roy Thomas was both the writer and editor.
Yeah.
So if you go back and look at the books when Stan Lee was still with the company, even the books that Roy Thomas was writing, Stan was the editor. He would, like, if Roy Thomas was writing it, Stan was the editor.
Gotcha.
Chances are Stan was the editor, even if Roy was the writer and the editor.
Gotcha.
But here in this instance, so basically Roy Thomas would have to run it past, like, okay, here's what I've got, here's what I'm doing. And again, it's always good to have someone to sound off. And so if you're the writer and the editor on a book, it's very useful to have someone else to sort of be an overseer, if you like, just to make sure that you're not getting lost in being your own editor.
When do you know when this came out?
This was 1977.
So I think we're moving close to. I'm not sure if this is the right time, but I think we're moving close to the time where the Roy had resigned from the editor-in-chief position, and he was really not on speaking terms with Stan anymore, and he was editing his books at home. And it was right around the time when Jim Shooter was slowly coming into Marvel, and I think Archie Goodwin was then the editor-in-chief, and so more or less they left Roy to his own devices. And here's your 8 books, do them at home, ship them in time, and that's it. And eventually Roy left for DC.
Well, it's interesting that there is no editor-in-chief credit on this book.
It's interesting, isn't it?
So usually Marvel also had the editor-in-chief listed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And none, folks, none.
Yeah.
Because I think that the way this went was basically Archie Goodwin was more or less working in the shadows on all of these books, and then he moved into the position fully, and then he was replaced by Shooter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either Roy or Archie actually held that position for that long.
No.
There was a lot of people who rotated through that title before Jim Shooter settled there, and he lasted quite some time there.
Oh, he did.
I really love this image, though. I'm laughing because I'm like, it just in the pose itself, I'm like, wow, Tarzan has snuffed the shit out of this monkey. This is just messed up, man. Yeah. Abuse. But this, with Alfredo Arcala, oh man, this is so dope. This imagery right here.
You see a lot of Conan in this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you replace that knife with a sword and give him his chains and give him some fur over here. It's Conan.
But what I like about this image is that Alfredo Alcala inked it, but he didn't labor over this in the way that he did on John Buscema on Savage Sword of Conan. those very almost, you know, the really tight, very crosshatch, lots of inking, very slick, very. This is a lot looser. Now it may have been deadline. It may have just been, hey, we need this. Can you come into the office and ink this? Take a couple of hours to ink this. But I just liked there's a lot more freedom in this piece than we'd seen in a lot of Alfredo Alcala's inks over John Buscema before.
What this reminds me of, I pulled some pages from a very amazing graphic novel, the Conan graphic novel John Buscema did in '97. He penciled, inked, and colored himself. Some amazing pages. But when you look at the storyline, this is very much not in the vein of his Conan books from the 80s, late 70s. It feels very much like the story feels very much like the Tarzan story, where he encounters Gladiator. He's in a Gladiator match. It feels very much like Hidden City story. Okay, you have this in Conan too, but it very much feels like a Tarzan adventure story. And I wonder if this was his vision. I mean, it's also written by Roy Thomas, obviously, but there's a little bit of Tarzan in this.
Yeah, bro. Look at this cover. Yo.
Yeah, that's another John Buscema, Neil Adams collaboration.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
So they were frequent collaborators then in their history.
No, I wouldn't say frequent. They did a couple of Conan stories together.
Okay,
and mostly in the Conan stories where Neil was inking John, it was mostly. Like they put the Crusty Bunkers together, which was
exactly. I was about to say that they were farming it out to the continuity studio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that meant like Dick Giordano, Terry Austin, Ralph Rees, Dan Adkins, Rich Buckler. Yeah. I mean, anybody that was available at the time, really.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, what Neil would always do is Neil was always in control. So everybody got their pages.
Of course he is.
And then he would go back in and he'd probably go like, okay, leave all the Conan heads. I'll do all the Conan heads. You know, stuff like that. Yeah.
So he's really a control freak. I mean, I could tell when I met him in person, though. I mean, very rude. First, I'm telling you, the first time he met me, I had my tag on Almega. He's just fucking around, but he don't know me. It's like, bro, you know, Almeja, he says. I'm like, mega, sir, mega.
Such a white response.
Yeah, he goes Almeja. I'm Spanish, so it's gonna have to sound very fucking unique. Yeah. Mega, bro, stop it! How dare you? And then the second time I met Neil, I was with 13 Crusader. At 13 Crusader, asked Neil it was around for Jack's 100th, and he asked Neil, like, yo, you know, what did you think about Jack Kirby? And once Mike puts 13 Crusader puts the mic in front of him, he goes, I hated his art. Like, what an asshole. Yeah. And give me a second, guys. Talk about the next page. I'll be right back.
Again, very Conan-esque, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, it's John had some great inkers, and Steve Gans, you know, these guys were also great artists in their own right. Like if you look at Tony DeZuniga, Alfredo Alcala, you know, even his own brother Sal Buscema, all good artists in their own right, all really great inkers as well. And those were the people that John was most comfortable with when it came down to sort of, hey, can you know, inking his work.
That's because he understood his art. I mean, this is the difference sometimes, I think.
Yeah, and I think both Marvel and DC's adaptations of Tarzan suffered from the same thing, which was at DC, you know, Joe Kubert didn't do, you know, at some point Joe Kubert stopped doing Tarzan. And that was when it was like the quality dropped, and the same with Marvel. When John Buscema wasn't drawing Tarzan anymore, you it kind of it wasn't quite as it was never quite as good.
How long after? I'm sorry, I'm back. I have family here, folks, so excuse my momentary absence. I had to give them those lovey-dovey goodbyes until la próxima stuff. But how long did John last on the whole Tarzan run?
Not long. I think it was maybe under 2 years.
Oh wow! So that's what 24 issues if they were going monthly.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't even. He didn't do all of those. I mean, there was a couple of annuals in there as well, which I know he did at least one of those.
Okay.
But
I think the also. Oh, this is amazing. Who inked this?
Yeah, who inked?
That is John Buscema.
Oh, that's his own. So John on John, huh?
Yep.
you notice the difference. I mean, excellent. I mean, this is just. I mean,
yeah, man.
John inking himself is amazing.
Yeah. I've never seen nobody do no fur. I mean, look at how he does it. I mean, it's just his handiwork was amazing, yo. This man was skilled, bro.
Yeah, if you're watching this, it really is worth putting this on full screen so you can see the art better. But that's there
we go. We helped them along right there. There you
go. That pen work, that pen and brush work on that fur is just like absolutely stunning.
It is. It's absolutely good. Maybe we'll keep our ugly mugs away for the next few images. Let's just see what's over here. Oh, dude! Yeah. Look at this paneling, bro. You don't see this shit anywhere, bro, anymore. Look at this. That one page will take you 10 minutes to read. Nowadays, that's just one comic book.
Yeah. No, this was part of the magazine format of the Weird Tales. This is
Weird Tales.
Worlds.
Okay.
Weird Worlds.
No. Weird World. All right.
No, yeah, but it appeared in what was that Marvel Comics Classic or something? It was
it was Marvel Preview
series.
Marvel Illustrated or Marvel Preview?
Okay, but they also ran this in Marvel Greatest Comics or something, whatever it was called.
Well, there was
also a magazine.
Well, there was Marvel Previews was the magazine size because that's actually switched to color. But this was the sequel to the original Weird World story that was actually by Mike Plug. So John Buscema followed on, but this is John Buscema inked by Rudy Neurobes. And again, it's you can see like I think this took a while for John to settle into it because I don't think the fantasy stuff in this is quite the cup of tea compared to the stuff that he could do in Conan. But again, as you go through it, there's other pages where it's when he's got wizards, when he's got warlocks, when there's the anatomy, the drawing, it's all like it's very.
I think we both have images from this wizard book he did.
Oh, really?
Camelot retelling. There's some amazing artwork. There's some amazing artwork there.
It is. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm digging. I mean, look at this. Look.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really want magazine style again. I mean, they're trying to do that through Black Label. Black Label is a magazine, but it's just one story. I would love to have magazine. Give me that anthology feel again.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but is like Marvel? They aren't they doing Savage Tales at the moment or Savage Sword of Conan?
They did, but it's not. It's comic book size. It's not the large magazine. It's nothing in the old school. That's not the route they went. That's what I was hoping for, to be honest. But they didn't do that. I don't think we're going to see that again. Maybe somebody will take a chance because I'm digging the European size, and that's essentially what the magazine size is. So, come on, Europeans, or Blaze. Why don't you guys, since you're doing the Sumerian, bring it? Come on.
I think that's what they are. I think they are doing. Their books, I think, at least being printed in a larger format.
Well, let's see. Look at this Weird World, as you said, yo, insane. Good stuff, bro. And like you said, yo, this is Ming the Merciless right here. No doubt. He's just missing the long ass goatee that Mega got.
Oh yeah. Now, if you go if you go to the next page, you've got a page that is actually inked by John Buscema.
Shit! Wow. I had a mohawk that looked like that several years ago. You laugh. I did. I had a mohawk.
Now you're gonna have to dig up a photograph and share it.
I'll find one. I had a great one when I had my face all on my wife's boobs, and you could see how great the mohawk looked for real.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, is right. Hey, that's all right. I'm married. Those are my boobs.
You see, and I had the curls of the boy once.
Oh, you did? You were dressing like that, bro? Oh man, I could see little Chris walking around Germany like that. Yo,
sure. Hey, come on! In the 80s, everything was a go.
Oh man. Oh, Chris, you still got that outfit. You need to wear it on the next show.
Sure.
No, bro. Look at this work, though. I love it. I mean, this right here is gorgeous, man. Just
Absolutely.
right?
Oh yeah, but look at the pose as well. Like there's the detail in the trees and the branches and the shrubbery and the rocks and everything, but the pose of the kid jumping off into the water in the last panel. Such an amazing pose.
It's gorgeous sequence right here. But again, I'm really digging their faces here because although the same, so different at the same time, you could differentiate really well. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, again, if you go back and look at the first part of our podcast from 2 weeks ago, if you see all those character sketches that we posted. Like, look at John spent so much time learning to draw different faces. And there's actually a nice section. There's a nice section in the How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, where he showed some tricks about how to actually get across different types of faces and personalities in the way you draw the faces.
You're going to make me rebuy that fucking book, bro. Jeez.
You mean you don't have a copy?
I don't, not right now. I had one, but hey, in life, things happen. You gotta sell stuff. So hey, again, my collection is what now? I mean, 3, 6, 9, then 2, 4, 6, so 9, 6, so 9 short boxes. I'm sorry, not even 9. 10 short boxes, and then 6 long boxes right now. But I used to have close to 80 long boxes and 50 shorts, and I had tons.
Wow. We all had those types of collections at one point.
That's what that's the goddamn hashtag for today. Yes. I had, and then please tell me what it is. Pound I had.
Can't remember. Can't remember. I had the complete Watchmen run.
Oh, I had that too twice. I had the first Deadpool twice. I had the first Harley 3 times. I've had the first Cable twice. I've had the Luke Cage, Misty Knight appearances, all that shit, bro. Falcon at one point. I mean, things had to get let go.
Yeah, I had
the whole Commandy run, the whole New Gods Volume 1 run, a whole Miracle Gods Volume 1 run. I had the whole first issue special first run, all the Secret Society of Supervillains complete run, because I was a run guy.
Yeah, I had a complete run of Fantastic Four. I had a complete run of Avengers.
Oh my God! I had the whole What If Volume 1 and Volume 2 and the specials.
Jesus, amazing.
Yeah, one time I was selling it at a convention, the whole run of What If, and at the time no one really cared, and people were coming to me. Nobody's gonna buy a whole run like that. And now people will fucking throw themselves in front of a bus for one. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Holy shit, bro. Look at this. Yeah. This is a poster. This is a tie-dye. Tie-dye, put some black light type ink on this, bro, and then smoke a bowl at night and put on your black light. You'll be fine.
See,
it's also from a different time. I mean, that is fantasy in the early 80s. That was really big back then.
Great stuff. I grew up on this stuff, guys. This is why I think I love Conan so much. I grew up watching those Tarzan movies, the Barbarians, the fantasy. We lived in a good era, you know what I mean, of good shit. That was actually makeup, not CGI.
So you can imagine, you can go back and imagine now what John Buscema would have done with say a Lord of the Rings adaptation.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, you're just looking at this and that, and you saying those words. Lord, I mean, these are the hobbits right here, right? Could you imagine?
Yeah. Now this is
This
I
ElfQuest,
believe,
right?
yeah. So no, this is
What
still
is
the
this?
same Weird World.
Oh, there is the real world. Holy shit!
Yeah,
Maybe
but however,
ElfQuest-ish.
yeah, it was, but it was, but you know, ElfQuest was very Lord of the Rings. It was all kind of feeding off the same pool.
Yeah.
But this was a page which I believe was a trial. This was a page where originally John Buscema was going to color, draw and color the book himself. In the end, it was inked by Rudy Neurobes and paint. I'm trying to remember the name of the colorist. It eludes me at the moment. But yeah. But as you can see, his watercolor here looks absolutely gorgeous.
No,
stunning.
this is great. I mean, what a mistake! It does look beautiful, and again, it's the movement, the characterization, the facial expressions. I mean, wow, yo, this guy was. Oh man, look at this. This is like me when I get up in the morning when I don't comb my hair.
Yeah.
Well, this was the final version that was printed with Rudy Neurobes inking, and
Bro, this is so sick.
now I feel really bad. I've forgotten the colorist's name. But I think, to me, what's interesting is if you go back and look at the page that John Buscema did, he did that's full painted artwork. That's he's penciled, inked, and painted on proper illustration board, and very different. What we'll see later on, which the pages that I think that Chris has selected are pages where they weren't. It's not the original artwork he painted on, which is why the colors are very different on that. But we'll talk about that when we reach them.
Oh man, look at this.
That's really, really attractive.
Look at this. But this is what would happen if Chris Buse grew a beard.
Yep. There's a bit of Don Lawrence coloring in this. I think.
Yo, this is amazing, bro.
This is to me was a point when I really thought that American comics were, going to start embracing more some of the European formats, the European types of storytelling. Yes. This would have been like, as you mentioned, like Don Lawrence. It's like, a Storm type series.
That is such an amazing series.
It would have been great. But it's
these colors, man, bugging me. There's the great uses of the colors, the way they kind of blend it. Again, characterization, emotion.
This is beautiful. This is a lot of what British comic book artists did already in the 60s. I mean, this is just amazing stuff.
Oh man, and look at this, how this pops down here. Oh yeah. Fuck.
But you can also see that heavy metal, when it came to America, opened the door for this. I mean, this is also something you could put into heavy metal.
Yeah, bro.
Peter Ledger was the colorist, the painter on these.
Peter Ledger, bro, he a boss. I mean, look, this has me hooked. These look like a whole bunch of specters in one scene. Right?
Yeah, but again, you can see that it's like the Lord of the Rings kind of
vibe,
came into it a little bit, but
and there you go.
It's probably about the same time when the Ralph Bakshi movie came about, the animated Lord of the Rings movie. It's probably the same
Warriors
time.
of the Shadow Realm.
That was actually quite a few years before that.
Was it earlier?
Yeah. And don't forget, Wizards predated Lord of the Rings by quite some time, by several years as well.
Right, but you also had the Last Unicorn and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that when we look back on it, you go, "Oh, those were quite close, weren't they?" And it was just, it seems that way.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
That pig, that boar right there. Would you eat that, man? That's some good pernil right there. I'm telling you.
Yeah, put an apple in its mouth, turn it over nicely.
Oh, just like Lance did this weekend. From
exactly.
Did you see that animal? Holy smokes, bro.
Wow.
I wonder if there's leftovers. I mean, if me and Dave go there and we light up something, there would be none left.
Would you eat the snout? I mean, the snout.
Oh no,
might be left over.
No, wait. No. Yeah, I may be Puerto Rican, but you know what? I'm not one of those that eat that. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans that love to eat the snout, pig ears, and pig's feet. Yes,
yeah,
it's dishes.
Yeah,
that is not that is not my thing.
Yeah,
that cartilage. I ain't bro.
No, you got to boil that. I mean, you got to boil it for some time so that it's soft enough and tender enough to actually be able to eat.
Yep. And listen, when I was a kid, when my aunt got married, I was maybe 8 years old. That was the last time I went to PR, and my grandma, was throwing a party at the crib. So they got a whole pig and killed them in the back. So I'm showering, and my uncles decided it was funny to fuck with me. So what did they do when they heard that I turned off the shower and was drying myself off? They opened the window and threw the pig's eyeballs into the crib, into the shower. And all I see is these two eyeballs on the ground. I'm a little kid. I just watched my first horror movie, not too long ago. I'm screaming like a fucking maniac. My mom comes in. What the hell is going on? I think that's why I have this. Yo, bro, when it comes to horror movies, if you're going to do something with eyes, that's the only time I go like this. And you fucking uncles, fuck you guys.
Wow.
They fucking terrorize me. I can't see eyeball scenes anymore. That's the one shit that scares me.
Wow. A long time ago, I used to work for about a year and a half. I worked as a fishmonger. And one of the things we did, of all people, our manager didn't like. He didn't really like fish. He didn't like the smell of them, and he certainly didn't like the eyes.
And he was the manager.
Yeah. But what we used to do is when we had to prep, because we had all the fish out, and when people come along, said,
what a ringtone.
I forgot to.
If you go Skype with Dave, he also has the Batman 66 Star Trek crossover wallpaper behind him.
Yeah. So what we used to do is you pull these fish off and have to prep them, and people would pick the one they wanted, but you had to fillet it, cut it all down. And they would want the skin, even though you cut the skin off, you'd fillet it and everything. They'd want the skin, they want the head, because they'd use that as stock. The one thing they didn't want is the eyes, so we had to poke the eyes out every time.
Why? Why? Did you ever ask why don't you want the eyes?
Oh no, they just didn't like it. They don't like the idea. It's looking at you. They don't like it. So what I used to do is we had a little paper bag and we'd keep all the eyeballs. And when our manager would come along, there was a couple of elderly women that would come in every day, and we always used to treat them by giving them sort of discounts on really good cuts, because we knew they couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So I'd give them a big chunk of wild salmon for the cost of a couple of fish fingers.
Yeah.
And but they would always give us little candy, sweets and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So he would come by and go, "Oh, has the candy lady been?" And we'd go, "Yes, she left these for you." And he'd put his hand in and pull them out. And all of a sudden, when he'd realize they were eyeballs, he would scream. I mean, and it was like a little girl's scream. It was just like, so anyway.
Amazing.
That's my eyeball joke.
Oh man, that is fucked up. You know what though? With what I've gone through, I would probably have fucked you up. You know what, Dave? If you're the one that gave me the bag, I gotta see you in the alleyway in 3 minutes. After I get over the shakes and shit, you will fuck me up with that. Oh, what's this? This looks great. What is this?
Nice.
So now, what this is? Now, this is interesting, and even though there's,
and it's JM. Oh, crap.
Yeah, but you see, there's if you go through, there's some other pages where you see there's different credits for different scripters on it.
Oh shit!
so Bront was John, to my knowledge, is John Buscema's only foray into creating a character.
Only? Really?
Yep. Where he actually came up with the concept. So. He plotted Bront.
Who the hell is Bront?
Well, Bront, it's his idea of basically what he's done is he took sci-fi and fantasy put them together. So it's very much, it's kind of in that John Carter realm.
It's a little bit like Storm. It's a little bit like Storm. It seems like the man from the future thrown into the past, or into a very far future,
or a guy from another planet, from a more developed world.
So like an Adam Strange type joint.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah. But this is my only to my knowledge, this is the only strip that he not only credited as plot, but he created the character.
So wait, so where did this come out from, though?
This was in Savage Sword of Conan.
Really?
It's also a lot like Warlord, isn't it?
Yeah, very much Warlord before Warlord.
It's earlier than Warlord.
But if you,
this is gorgeous, though, bro.
But if you go through it, not only did Jay DeMatteis do some scripting on it, but also Bruce Jones did some scripting on it.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, bro.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So then it's later than Warlord.
But why is he killing the lion if he's not gonna eat it?
I think to save someone's life.
Yeah, but you know, you got to do something to that poor creature. You can't just let it stay there and rot.
Yeah.
No, the hyenas will take care of it.
Chris, and then German brutality. The hyenas got it.
Oh,
fuck out
of course. Yeah, the hyenas.
Yeah, this is gorgeous.
You can always do the brutal German accent.
I mean, yo, there's certain accents that always sound like you're mad or screaming at me, and definitely German is one of them. Like even when you're talking nice to me, it's like you're screaming at me, and I like, what did I do?
Oh, I have some nasty German characters in my book. Trust me.
We can't wait for that book, brother. Oh, look at this. Yeah. Oh, this is beautiful, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this is like literally. If it wasn't, you'd almost think like this is.
It's animated. It's
No,
animated.
you'd think it would be Tarzan.
Yeah,
it's Tarzan.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean? Think it is Tarzan? Look at this. Tarzan fighting tigers or lions and whatever the fuck else.
Yeah,
but this is gorgeous.
Looks exciting. I mean, it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and I wish I knew
always
more.
the helpless female, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wish I knew
early 70s.
Yeah. No, I wish I knew the whole history of this because I.
You don't.
No. I mean, it's like it's clear that its run was quite spotty, and the fact that it wasn't a consistent scripter on it. So they obviously pulled in different people to script over John's pages at different times. It would be interesting to actually, go back. Go back through a whole collection and see if he actually finished a story. Did they actually ever get around to finishing this story? Was there a satisfying conclusion to it? But I thought it was worth bringing up today because
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it is, for John, it's who probably never had much, it was, he definitely was a co-plotter on some, several of the stories he worked on.
My brother, what is this gorgeous beast here?
We're on to, I mean, as far as when it comes down to superheroes,
so here's the Battle of the Heralds right here, bro. Look at this. Look at that Galactus, kid. Not no fucking cloud like they did in the movies back, and then remember?
Oh my god.
Right? Yo, they better bring a proper Galactus when they do the next fucking Fantastic Four movie, please. I don't want to see no cloud. I want to see a giant of an alien try to eat Earth.
We have to get through Kang first. But no,
which we're kind of getting. If you guys are watching Loki, I mean, the Time Authority, all this, and those creatures kind of look Kangish. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not sure if the reveal is. I don't know if there's going to be a full reveal of Kang actually in Loki, but Kang is the main villain of the Ant-Man movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, true. And then if you guys saw Black Widow, definitely does allude to the next Disney series. So I can't wait. It went interesting things, but enough about that. Yeah, this is John B. Galactus. What's the name of this, Harold? Yeah,
Terex. Is that Terex? Is that Terex?
Wow, yeah, Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah, no, it's from a Galactus book. And yeah.
What year was this?
Damn.
Yes, 78, 80, something like that.
No, this would be later. This would be later. I'm getting.
Yeah, because like he's a herald here, but I forget his name.
Is it Terex?
No. This is much later. This is somebody who we've all forgotten, so he can't be anything like Terex.
Exactly. He ain't no Terex. He ain't no Fire Lord. You know, he ain't no Silver.
This is somebody,
he's a whack ass.
Yeah, this is somebody who's just cropped up.
Holy shit. This is what I want. If Marvel does a Silver Surfer movie, this is what I effing want to see. I want to see Galactus like this. Imagine a homie pulling up on your planet and all you see is this big ass head.
Yeah, it's a shame that this actual piece is actually it's not the original artwork by John Buscema. It's actually
it's after John Buscema from 2004.
Yeah, it's a recreation. There's a lot.
It's gorgeous though.
It is. It is. A lot of the recreations that are out there by different artists are like just as good as.
That's a poster, man. I gotta see and this is the perfect poster to use that like black lighting on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so great. But that's the Galactus I need to see in a goddamn movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can make that work. I mean, there was even in the 70s there was some attempt to make a Silver Surfer movie.
Oh really? Going far back? I mean, 70s it would have been something that probably really stuck. Again, the first, everybody. What's the first Marvel movie to you guys?
Blade, obviously, right?
Probably Punisher.
No, it was actually Howard the Duck. Apparently, Howard the Duck was truly the first Marvel movie.
Oh God, yeah, right.
He said, "Oh God."
But not for me, because in Germany they showed the Incredible Hulk in movie theaters. They took the pilot and the first episode, made a movie out of it.
No, in Germany, they got you guys.
I saw it in a movie theater. It was the coolest thing ever.
They made you pay for that.
No, it was the coolest thing ever.
Actually, what was probably good is it shows that they probably thought about that ahead of time, because to show on the big screen, they would have had to have filmed that episode. Not on regular videotape.
Oh, right. True. They had a different format, right?
So,
because in the UK, we got the Battlestar Galactica. Not only on the big screen, but in sense around.
Wow!
Really?
Yeah.
And I think they did the same as the Buck Rogers. They did the same as the Buck Rogers pilot. They did the same as the Buck Rogers pilot, which was a little bit longer as the movie version.
Well, if you're into Twin Peaks, they did a special version of they took the first episode of Twin Peaks and some additional material and turned it into a self-contained movie that they released at movie theaters in.
Oh, say word!
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, very cool.
You're gonna put me on a quest to try and find this shit now. How dare you?
Wow.
Yeah, it's readily available. I think it's on some of the DVD collections they put out. It's actually been included in that as a bonus disc.
I still haven't managed to see the first episode.
The only Twin Peaks I care about are Double D's. Anyway, no. I'm fucking around, people. Send hate mail to Chris Fuse. Now.
Yes, please do that.
Yeah,
Angry German on Twitter. #AngryGerman. Go.
So what's popping? Why this page here? I mean, this is the gorgeous page, though.
Because it's the Silver Surfer doing what we always loved seeing him do. It was just like flying through the cosmos.
I mean, but planets cannot be that close to one another. Impossible, really. That looks like they're super close.
They could be
gravitational fields.
They could be moons. They might not be planets.
Yeah, they're gonna crash, bro. That looks scary.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Now this is classic Silver Surfer.
Right. It's very Kirby influenced.
It is. Yeah. He definitely followed in the Godfather of comics right there, for real.
Yeah, definitely.
Bro, this is gorgeous. Holy shit!
That inking is so tight.
Just
click on that.
Just imagine if Stan Lee had a little bit more imagination when it came to the Silver Surfer series, and he didn't ground the Silver Surfer on Earth. Yeah, but if you look at these issues he had, they're very tedious.
I understand you. Like when it comes to cosmic, I always like the DC cosmic because they really did expand. You know, like Strange Adventures. You know, when they did the Adam Strange, Starfire mix with what's his name, Captain Tomorrow. What's his name? Fuck, forgot his name. Animal Man. Yeah, bro. I mean, that was a great little run. That had great sci-fi.
That was in the New 52. That was very cool.
Yeah, bro. And I was digging it. And I always liked Adam Strange because he's the reverse Superman. In my mind, you know, he's an Earthling that goes to another planet and becomes their hero, but he really doesn't have powers. He's just got technology. You know? I always like Adam.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. But nobody could draw Mephisto like this motherfucker.
Well, he created it.
Yeah.
No one will ever draw. Listen, Greg Capullo got mad at me because I said that no one could draw Spawn like Todd. You know, even though Greg is great, and I'm not knocking him, but Daddy's always the realest. Like this, look at this. No one will ever draw Mephisto like Big John. No one.
No.
This is gorgeous. It's scary. It's terrifying. It's wicked.
Go to the next piece.
Oh God, you're gonna fuck me up, aren't you? Oh yes. The classic. Wow. This is the. Yeah, I need this on a T-shirt, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
this is Mephisto.
Yeah,
but he could have been the next Loki. I mean,
yeah,
you got it, man. I mean, Marvel needs to focus on this character. This is the devil on Earth. You seeing the success that Lucifer is having with a devil storyline. Imagine having this motherfucker that actually looks scary.
Yeah.
Doing some stories, and like you could do horror stories within the Marvel universe and have him as the host.
Well, he was originally created to be the devil in the Marvel universe.
Yes, I know exactly. They finally brought religion into comics.
But they ended up.
I think for our viewers only have an exclusive because the big bad in my horror novel is the devil.
Opa! You heard it here first, folks. Holy shit. If we get in the next Exorcist or even worse here, I think when the sick mind of Chris Buse comes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Trust me.
I love it. I can't wait, Chris. I better get a copy of that book. Autographed, too.
Advance.
Yeah, I want an autograph. Yes. And autographed so that way I could CGC that shit.
We will see.
That'll be the first thing I CGC. Because they're CGCing, not CGCing, I'm sorry, let me not use that word. They are slaving even videotapes nowadays. So if you have first edition videotapes, those are getting graded and slabbed too.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
The actual tapes.
The video. If you got the sleeve in perfect condition, it's like records now. I mean, video cassettes, VHS, first runs, first edition releases are going for money now.
Wow.
And I know I got all the Friday the 13th on tape, the OGs.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was a sicko. I love horror. Holy shit. Look at this, bro. No one did cover like this homie either, bro.
Yeah, that was the cover for this issue. So as I said earlier, it was Mephisto was a co-creation of Stan Lee and John Buscema.
Yeah.
It was a creation by John B. where Stan Lee needed a co-creative credit.
Yeah,
let's get real.
Stan probably said make the devil or something like that.
Yeah, that's all. Oh, that's my creation too, right?
Yes,
John,
I created that. I created that.
No, I'm not. So
I love Stan, but I'm just saying, folks. He's a shady businessman.
Well, it's a very loose understanding of the word create.
Yes,
I have. There's an interesting story I have where John Buscema he found out that I think it was that issue 3 of the Silver Surfer, the complete book, including cover and interiors.
Yeah,
was someone said, "Hey, I saw that book on eBay." Being sold, the cover and the original artwork, and it was This was just after a lot of the original artwork had finally been what artwork was there was returned to the artists. And it was supposed to have been returned to John Buscema, but he didn't get it.
Okay.
So he tracked down, or he managed to track down who was selling it.
No.
That person said, "Oh, I'll take it down. I'll take it down, and I'll give you the artwork." And he said, "No, leave it up, but I'm going to have the money for it."
Ah, nice. Okay. Gangster.
And that,
it's Big John, though. It was the big
and,
dude. You're not gonna say no, right?
And that person was Stan Lee.
Yes, it was.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
What a dirty mother effer! Really? You better take Big John said, "Yo, Stan, I'm gonna take some shit, but not this." Like.
And I mean, this is the guy who got his contract upped and upped and upped by the new owners of Marvel, and he got millions of dollars.
I love it.
It's incredible.
Folks that just tuned in, you better just rewind and see how Stan Lee got thugged by John B. I love it. That shit is some Brooklyn shit right there. I love it. I love it.
Well, John Buscema was from New York, so.
Yeah, I know. He's a gangster, bro. I mean, and he's a gangster in art, too, because look at this. I mean, again, this is not the type of artwork, panel work, verbiage we're not ever going to get again. And this type of representation of this wonderful... Mephisto's an ill character that, again, like a Superman, people don't seem to know how to use.
Well, he was created to be the perfect foil for Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer is the noble, pure in heart.
He's the Christ figure.
Yes. And, of course, Mephisto is like, to have someone that is completely incorruptible is more than he can take.
Saying himself.
Yep. And that
temptation of Christ. It's a temptation of Christ.
Well,
yeah, man.
Well, you see, so many villains. Like they started off being back in the day of, when they were created, it was like there's the good guy and there's the bad guy, and the good guys know they're the good guys, and the bad guys know they're the bad guys.
There was no gray. It was so black and white.
And then we moved into an era of the anti-hero plus, you can sympathize with the villain because
you can, though.
Such and such happened to them when.
But you always can, though, because sometimes a lot of villains don't really have a bad intention. It's just their means are classified as bad, but what is then, good and bad? So it leads to that moral question.
Well, if you're, it's that old adage: if you have no other way, if you're in a society where there is no other way for you to put food in your mouth.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
It's survival. It's survival.
Survival of the fittest, kid.
Yep. And that's why like Mephisto was perfect. And again, if you've got, I think, you mentioned earlier about like the cosmic Silver Surfer stories. Remember we're still in the 1960s, and while Jack had created quite a few different like cosmic characters, there wasn't really enough for like Silver Surfer would have had to have gone out, and he should have been the first one. It should have been almost like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like Silver Surfer establishes and fleshes out the worlds. He should have gone and to the Skrulls. We should have seen the Kree involved. New life forms.
It's a precursor to the New Gods. I mean, there's no two cents about it.
But again, it's like, the thing was, Stan wasn't up for that. Like, Stan's not your man to create new worlds, new life, new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Jack's that guy.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's it was Stan at the very end deciding that like, okay, well, it's not working. I can't make this work anymore. I'm going to give the book to Jack.
Okay.
And
for one issue.
For one issue, yeah.
One.
which is really
What a
really
bastard.
tragic. Didn't tell him that the book was cancelled.
Nope.
That's ridiculous.
And look at this: John B., Joe Sinat, and then apparently Stan Lee knows how to draw.
No, he knows how to sign his name.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, yo, why is his name even on this? I know that he's credited with creations of, but his work's not here. Why you do that?
Well, I think of all the characters that Jack created, the Silver Surfer was the one that even Stan admitted that Jack just drew him on the page. Like there was no consultation. The pages turned up and there's the Silver Surfer. And Stan had no idea it was coming until he saw the pages. And
so it's a Jack Kirby creation, bottom line.
It is, but because of the way publishing works and comics have always worked, even though Stan only wrote the dialogue, his first appearance, he gets credit as co-creation. But he liked the character so much, and he thought that particular for college students, which was the crowd that Stan really wanted, he thought, I'm going to do a Silver Surfer comic. And I think he chose John Buscema rather than Jack Kirby, because if it had been Jack Kirby, no matter what Stan would have said, like, okay, here's how we're going to do the first issue, Jack would have just turned in whatever he wanted to turn in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like he normally did. And I think Stan just wanted a heavier, say on the character and the direction for the character. And so he basically took it from Jack.
Yep. And if you're just flipping through the last issue we were talking about, it's immediately Inhumans and Silver Surfer. It's immediately going in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
It's none of this milquetoast stuff Stan did with the Silver Surfer.
Well, in
a way, his Silver Surfer reflects a little bit the late '60s, the baby boomers. The Silver Surfer, Stan Lee's Silver Surfer is a baby boomer.
Well, the thing was, it started off so well. The artwork was beautiful. It was like the tragedy. It was like, okay, we're building up to something. What are we building up to? And it wasn't. It was there wasn't anything. It wasn't. It was just like, I want to tell this story with this issue, and I want to tell this story, but there was no, hey, what are we going to do? Where are we going with this? There wasn't any. We didn't have that.
Right.
But again, I thought for this, I included this because it's a nice side by side. We get to see the pencils and we get to see the inks on it, and it's just
And what a difference between those pencils to the inks. I mean, what a difference in cleanup. It's amazing, bro. And then once you add that lettering, the spacing, and all of that, it's wonderful, because you can see there is I don't know if you noticed it, but there is a slight size difference in order to allow the wording. And it's a very minuscule amount of size, but I don't know if you noticed it. Do you?
No.
I mean, look at the head here, right? The curvature and where it stops as opposed to here. There is a difference. It's very, very small, but it seems to allow for enough of the space. And then the cleanup on the chin, for example, here, phenomenal. Because you see the line work there as opposed to here where he shaded more.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's what makes an inker. It's like, often there might be several pencil lines. But it's that, like, which ones get inked and which ones don't.
Yeah.
It's choosing to, instead of going quite so dark on the chin, he leaves a highlight around the bottom lip of the chin to create more of a highlight.
It's a difference, though. I love that you threw this in, because you could really see the job of an inker here. Like, you really see it. I mean, there's a huge difference.
Well, it's also a really good lesson for people to, if you're a penciler and you're an aspiring penciler, to look at this, because you have to leave space for dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
You can't not leave that space. Like you've got to lay out your page. You've got to prepare it. And again, if you look at this, like the way we build, like the first, like we don't even see the Silver Surfer's face on the first 3 panels. It's his head. He's heading somewhere. He's not even sure what he's going. He senses that there's something beneath the ice. We get to see a mid shot of him, and then that close up, that poignant close up at the end. You know, it makes the page emotional.
You want to talk about an emotional page, Chris? Right? Let me share something that Chris just sent over. Because if you want to see Silver Surfer share emotion, holy shit. Hold on, bro. Check this out.
And that's our man,
Look at
Herb Trimpe. Herb Trimpe.
Look at that.
Well, that's Jack Kirby.
Yeah, but ink by Herb Trimpe. I mean, this is
the
last page of this. And you see, they put the book out. Oh, it's the new direction. No, it's not the new direction. The book already got cancelled. Stan already knew that.
And I want you to see the difference, though, in the inking. I mean, look at this silver versus this silver. No? And, of course, the coloring helps, of course. But I'm saying, just look at that light, that line work, the shape of the chin, for example, the rounding of the head. I'm particular for things like this.
And he has cheekbones. He has cheekbones.
Yes. I mean, wow, great image, Chris. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man, it's wonderful. I mean, and this page is amazing. And oh shit, some German stuff going on here because only the Germans want to know the dead.
Frankenstein.
The heir of Frankenstein.
But it's still the Silver Surfer.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, this is the bizarro thing. It was like this is issue 7, and already we've got. You know, it's like, oh, well, let's have the Silver Surfer go to Transylvania and we'll bring in sort of a descendant of Frankenstein making a monster.
Wait. I got to add something here because now I see something different when it comes to the credits, right? When they go to Sal Buscema embellishment.
Right.
What the fuck? I mean, what an ass. Produced by, but the embellishment is by.
So in a lot of times when you see the word embellishment, it means that what probably happened here was John actually didn't do full pencils.
Okay.
So Sal Buscema had to do a little bit more of the work on tightening everything up.
Okay.
So when you see in comics the term embellisher, it means usually like, I mean, a great example is on Frank Miller's Daredevil run, particularly towards the latter end of that. You know, Klaus Janson gets credited more as finisher, embellisher, you know, or a co-credit. It's like a Frank Miller, Klaus Janson production. It's, you know, Frank Miller was basically doing thumbnails, and Klaus Janson was doing full finishes, like literally. Yeah, Klaus.
Klaus is from Germany.
Yeah, but I mean, with a name like Klaus, the way it sounds, you come on. There is no doubt where it's from.
And also where it says produced by. What it here is something that when Stan knows full well he didn't write something, it becomes a Stan Lee John Buscema or a Stan Lee Jack Kirby production.
What? So, yo, bro, Stan Lee's mind, yo. I mean, I'm not gonna hate on the man, bro. He was smart. I mean, he knew how to make sure that he was getting his name out there.
Yeah, but by that time, Stan was also a brand, and he was touring the college campuses, and so he was really putting himself.
Yeah, he was the cool older dude, man. He was the older dude that was in tune with the young community.
I mean, have we ever seen a transformation from a man who looked like a balding insurance sales agent?
He looked like a motherfucking madman. He looked like a madman that went to comics and became the coolest marketer ever.
And then he became the coolest guy ever with his toupee and his chest hair and his Gucci shoes, and he all of a sudden was the coolest guy ever. I mean, what a transformation! What a transformation!
Everybody aspires to be that type, though. Listen, Omega is the Stanley, but I'm not gonna take credit for what you guys do. I'm not that Stanley, but in the sense that I need to be the face of my brand, right? I gotta be the cheerleader. I'm not gonna wear a skirt for you guys, but hey, if you go to my OnlyFans, and I'm only playing.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Stan probably knew, or he was getting sick of. And remember, I mean, I posted yesterday an image from an old crime comic from the 40s. Stan Lee wrote that. Stan Lee wrote that.
Crazy.
And I mean, Stan Lee already had 20 years of writing behind him when he even started the Marvel Universe. So at a certain point in time, you get a little bit tired of doing the same thing.
Yeah. This makes me angry, though, because I've run across this issue multiple times back in the day where I could have bought it for like $5-10, and I never picked it up. Because not for nothing, no offense, no hate, but, Silver Surfer was never my character. I liked the cartoon a lot, but, the comic wasn't just my read. It's just the way he speaks, too Shakespearean for me, and I'm not into that type of shit.
Well, it was Stan producing the college crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. He was trying to show off. It's like, look, I'm a writer.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, but it definitely it didn't speak to me. This kid from the hood. This is why other shit appealed to me. A lot more than this.
Remember, we looked at this original video from the way back when he talked to these college kids. Remember, a couple of months.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and he was really into that. That was his audience. He really wanted to be with those guys, even though he didn't understand them, and he still wanted to be the father. But he also wanted to hang with those kids. I mean, and you see it in Spider-Man. You see it a lot in Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that shit that I could show you if you even want, because no, that's too long. I could find short snippets of when Stan Lee would do so many keynotes at different graduation ceremonies, But this isn't about Stan, bro. This is about one of the people that I guess helped Stan in getting his name out there. One of his underlings, if you will. That was one of the most intense and amazing creative forces in Marvel.
But I mean, sharing my experience, when I grew up in Germany, reading these books in German translation, the kids in my neighborhood and me, we hardly knew the DC artists. I mean, we knew Mike Grell, of course, but we knew all the Marvel artists.
That's interesting. So DC wasn't something that was pushed in Germany like that?
No, yes, but DC. With DC, you always had these artists, they looked okay, and with Marvel, you had really these cool guys. And
so they had cooler covers, apparently. So you go to the shop, they had more explosive-looking covers. Okay.
More dynamic. And also the bizarre thing was Marvel was 10 years behind in Germany. So I was reading in the 70s, the 60s.
10 years, Chris? I'm so sorry. God damn.
No. They already put those out earlier in black and white. And then they started again from this number one when I was when I was 6 or 7. They restarted the whole run in color. Okay. And what they did was they put them out without ads, and they usually had the full issue and then 10 issues of a different issue of a different character. So Daredevil had a backup. Cool. Daredevil was a backup in Fantastic Four. They split the books then.
Wow, that's so different. That's so different, man. I'm jealous of you guys. So
I read in the 70s. In the 70s, I read the original 60s Marvel run up to the early 70s, and DC was on time. So you read the 70s Marvel DC books in the 70s, and the 60s book also the 60s Marvel books in the 70s.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I'm jealous. I mean, that's a different experience. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys are like, okay, Al gets fucking day and date regardless. But you guys had to wait 10 years to get, something day and date, but 10 years behind.
But day and date really only happened to me when Comixology went day to day with the New 52. Then it was really day and date.
Stop lying. So New 52 allowed Germany to have that type of access.
No. We also got the original Marvel books and DC books from America from our local comic shop, the original ones. But those usually were months late because they had to be shipped.
And
then later it was you got the trades, and now it was really but it was really you couldn't buy on the same day the new issue of Captain America in Germany because obviously it's printed in America. And Marvel kept not releasing those new issues on Comixology. And when the new 52 happened, DC said, well, we go day and date with the new 52. That was the first time everything went date to date.
Actually, there was, just so you know, there would have been probably not many shops, but there probably was a couple of shops in Germany that probably did have everything within a couple of days. Because I know, because I know Diamond pretty well. And what happens is, so as the comics, they're boxing up the comics, ready to, they're pulling the comics for the American comic shops. At the same time, there's a flight of comics that goes to London, where they break down the comics for not just the UK. But for France, Spain, Germany, Italy, but just the specialty stores. So that's not that's not going to be the news. That's not going to be the newsstand.
Yeah, but it was much later when I was no longer reading comics from a comic shop. And in the 70s, you got also American comics at the main station, at the bookshop there at the main station. But these were usually also a little bit late. But they were also probably brought by plane, I assume.
Yeah, there would have been, and before Diamond took over, before Diamond UK set up, they bought out the UK distributor called Titan Distributors. Titan Distributors would be the one that was actually distributing probably the comics to most of Europe.
Okay, interesting. And were they associated with Titan Comics?
Yes, basically it was
Rebellion.
They're also associated with the Forbidden Planet comic chain. So they were kind of all of it. There was three men: Mike Lake, Mike Luckman, and Nick Landau, and each one would. So Mike Luckman was originally the comic shops.
The retail guy.
Yeah, Mike Lake was the distributor and Nick Landau was the publisher. And then, of course, like Mike Luckman broke off from the guys. He focused on just the US, so he had the Forbidden Planet stores in the US. And then it was Nick Landau and Mike Lake had the Forbidden Planet shops in the UK. Then they split up, so you had half the stores were Nick Landau, half the stores were Mike Lake. But that happened when Titan Distributors was sold to Diamond.
Gotcha. I want to ask you guys, again, this is John B. So what's up with this cover? And why this cover right now?
So the reason I included that is that's Marvel's Greatest Comics. When you open that up, that's a reprint of the Jack Kirby coming of Silver Surfer. And so they actually got John Buscema to do a new cover for the reprint.
Yep, I read this run or parts of this.
You had this?
They reprinted. Yeah, because they reprinted this was the first time I read the Kirby issues in English, because that was also they reprinted those in the 70s, and I got them from my comic shop. So I read the old stories again in English then.
Awesome. And where is this from? This is just a print, because this is fire.
Yeah, so this I felt was of all the pieces I found, this had such a Kirby vibe to it.
Oh, you see all that crackle, man! Hell yeah!
Yeah, but it's clearly John Buscema drawing it, but he's gone out of his way to do a very look at the way Galactus is drawn, and even the pose, the hand out. Look at the blast coming from the Silver Surfer's hand.
Yes,
very Jack Kirby.
Very much emulated the King, bro.
Yeah, very much.
Oh, and going back to some Mephisto. Look at this.
Wow, this is amazing looking.
Yeah, this was from a later graphic novel, so not from the original run of the Silver Surfer.
That's from the Marvel graphic novel series from back in the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Which actually ran very long. I was very surprised. I think it ran into the 70s. didn't it? In the 79, 80, it was a very long run, actually.
Well, the graphic novels ran for quite some time, but it kind of limped along as there was no. It became, you know, I found that I couldn't. I wasn't like a collector of them because, to be honest, there was a lot of weak graphic novels.
Oh, absolutely. It was different. It's a very experimental area, similar to the first issue specials, I think, with the Marvel graphic novel series. A very experimental area.
Well, it was quite simple. It's like you start off something and you're not sure how it's going, and it seems to take off pretty well. And so now you have to keep them regularly going. So that means that you've got to put a couple of books that, you've got some that are beautifully, painstakingly put together, and there's some that look like they were put together overnight. And
and look at this page right here, though. Oh my God, Galactus versus Mephisto, son, and also with some Kirby Crackle in that mother.
Yeah,
well, gorgeous.
Yeah, but again, it's like Galactus.
Who would win, though? Devil. Who would win? The World Eater or the Devil, in your mind? Don't mind the story now.
Mephisto always wins.
The Devil, slick bastard.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Power. Oh, Frankie Ray.
Look at this! Look at this!
Very nice.
Chilling with yet another herald.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, beautiful. Oh, look at this, bro. Now they homies, bro. Look at this.
Yeah, because again, Mephisto was tried to working his way on Frankie as a way of getting to Galactus.
Okay. This is gorgeous, bro. Oh, iconic cover. One of the most iconic covers ever. Like, everybody loves this image.
Well, it's probably even John Buscema thinks, like, I think if you ask John Buscema, like, if you ever ask John Buscema what's his favorite issue of the Fantastic of Silver Surfer, he'd say this one.
Yeah, it's a great issue.
And I think even before Conan, before he was really sort of the main artist on Conan, he would probably say, "Do you know what? This is the best comic I've done for Marvel so far."
I mean, come on, man! Look at that.
Yeah,
look at that shit. That is an iconic cover. And they go in black and white. I mean, a beast of an image.
Yeah. But if you go to the first page,
yet another iconic image.
It's Loki, so obviously it's like man of the hour at the moment. But look at that. Look at the mood. Everything, like that splash page just tells you exactly what mood Loki's in.
Mm-hmm.
He's not happy. Well,
not happy, miserable motherfucker. And it's just so well drawn. The mood, the lighting.
That's Loki to me, though. That's the Loki I grew up with. Not the Loki I see now, but that's Loki in that uniform, all like that. Yeah, that's Loki to me.
Yeah.
That's Norse god.
The Richard E. Grant Loki.
I mean, look at this motherfucker's face. It's evil. The Asgard's version of the trickster.
Yeah.
And there goes, oh my God, look at this. And look at the thing, bro. I mean, what artistic value. Hercules over here with minus the beard.
But it's interesting. You see, this is the juxtaposition of Loki in issue 4, but Mephisto in issue 3 we've got effectively Earth's devil. And then we have kind of the god of mischief.
Yeah.
Or, almost the god of evil as far as Asgard's concerned.
That's when you got the horns, their version of a devil, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh man, and again, look at this amazing art, man.
Yeah, I mean, look at the pose of the Silver Surfer in that last panel, with like he's looking up at Loki. Loki obviously having the high ground.
Of course.
Amazing.
I mean, look at this. That doesn't really know Tom Hiddleston to me.
Nope.
No, because I mean, again, it's we've reached that. Kirby. John Buscema is, or Loki as a character. It's like Harlequin. We've gone from someone like a maniacal killer to cute, like, ooh,
Yes.
I'm the anti-hero now.
Yeah.
We
DC has called her the fourth pillar of DC now.
Oh, and she's now working with Batman in the Batman comics. She's an ally of Batman now.
Yeah, she's one of Batman's team now, and but you've also got to remember, it's like when they talk about fourth pillar, it's because her merchandising is so strong, like T-shirts, figures. That's where the real money comes in.
Undies, everything, cosplay.
Yep.
Nobody could draw Loki or something. Look at this shit.
Now this is from DC, and it was part of an Elseworlds run
DC
that was never finished by John. It was going to be sort of like very much the Justice League of Middle Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was immediately thinking this is Batman, or is it Superman? Superman is Christ.
It's Superman. You can see Superman here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What an interesting idea.
I mean, it is. It's we got to see, like, for me, some of the biggest artists from DC in the 60s. Obviously, like Kurt Swan, but it was like Gil Kane, people like that as well. And Gil Kane did a lot of work for Marvel.
He looks like He-Man here, though. Look at his fur.
Oh, it's very He-Man, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we never got to see, John Buscema step over to DC and do a body of work there. I just think that he would have done such a great. I think he would have done such a great Superman.
Oh, here we go. We're going back to the 40s. This is some of John Buscema's first work for Marvel. This is 47. This is a very young John Buscema here. And
1947, wow.
Yeah, allegedly, but it's not proven. It's inked by George Klein. So they actually were working together in the 40s, if that's true. I mean, credits are a little bit hazy in those days. And we have a couple of more pages on this issue. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at it. Very interesting, huh? It's in the vein of that time, and you can see with the woman's face, you can already see John Buscema faces here.
Oh,
I really like this. It's very film noir.
It is. Look at this.
It's interesting storytelling.
Police files.
But he's trying to be. If you look at the look, he's really trying to. Whether he's been told or not, he's trying to be very dynamic with the look. Like, look at his poses in like that first panel, even the way that he's climbing on in the second panel. It's very sort of like he's leaning over. It's like he's trying to use dynamic anatomy.
Yeah, he's always in movement. Also, the woman has her knee bent, her leg bent at the knee.
Yeah, they're leaning into each other. There's like that pan at the bottom where he's leaping down off the wall.
It's circular. We're experimenting here a little bit with the panels. It's quite interesting. It's moving places. Of course, crime can't win, which is, of course, everybody was imitating crime comics, Leif Gleason's crime comics at that time. This is a little bit from a Western story.
That's that Rawhide kid, right?
Yeah, it's Two Gun Kid, actually.
Oh, Two Gun, okay.
But again, this is where we're starting to see more, you can look at this now and start to and after a couple of minutes you go, oh, okay, this is John Buscema.
You also see a John Severin influence there, I think.
I also do want to point out, look at the amount of verbiage per panel.
Yeah.
You do not get anything close to that nowadays.
What I also discovered looking through these old books is, in the 1940s, Mary Severin was doing artwork for Marvel Comics, which is interesting. So she did pencils.
Wow,
before
really?
she did pencils. She did pencils before she did colors for EC Comics, and then she went back to Marvel and only, quote unquote, only did some inking and very little penciling, which is a shame.
Wow, yeah, man, she was awesome, bro.
Yeah, we've said that before here, that it's a real shame, and I think on Stan Lee's part, really, that Marie was never actually given a chance to take a run on a book, do a serious run on a title. She was just the fill-in girl, covers,
unfortunately,
art corrections.
She got more credit or more respected at EC Comics. I love the penultimate panel here. This anatomy work once again. Comes to Buscema.
Yeah,
and very much nice. In the style of the time. Everybody in their suits and shit.
Yeah.
There's
some early Western work. Also for it was actually, this is the funny thing. This is what a lot of people don't know. It was called Marvel Comics, or it was Marvel Magazine. They called it the Marvel Magazine at that time. We're talking in the 40s here, and then it became Atlas. Once Atlas was founded as a distribution company, then it was named Atlas. So it was Marvel before. It's not that Stan Lee all of a sudden said, well, we would call it Marvel in the 60s. It was Marvel also before in the 40s, and Stan Lee was pushing it as Marvel magazines. So this is actually a Marvel magazine. From the
Marvel magazine.
Well, they had title. They had Marvel was being used as a title rather than a name for the company.
Exactly.
But I mean, at one point, wasn't there like Fantastic Four, your favorite superhero magazine? They kind of wanted to sell the comic book as the word magazine, as opposed to comic book.
Always trying to upsell. And what's so interesting is at that time he divided the line. Please go back. He divided the line at that time in the 40s. He divided the line in the blue and the red line, and that was for advertising purposes. So you had a certain group of titles that had different advertisers than the other group, which is interesting. This is now in the 60s. This is from a late 60s. This is from a horror comic.
A horror comic.
If you go to the next page, you also see what Stan Lee was giving him to draw. You can already see this. Okay. This could be Thor. This could be from Thor.
Oh, gotcha. Stan Lee into some porn right here. All right, I get it.
Yes. The man was interested in women. Let's put it that way.
Of course, man. He wanted to get in that redhead. Yo, why not? Yo, she looks great.
Well, actually, I just realized we haven't included any of the men's magazines work that John Buscema did.
Men's magazines. What are we talking about? Here? Some dirty stuff? Some titties?
Yeah. No, it was cute, kind of lewd, but not naked.
We got some nice panty tee stuff. I got you.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Look at
stockings and panties.
This woman is after my heart with the gray side. Like me.
And this is actually Vanessa. This is the first appearance of Vanessa. Of Kingpin's wife. This is Kingpin's wife.
Oh God.
We also saw on the Daredevil Marvel show.
Wait a minute. So you guys, who created Vanessa?
Stan Lee and John Buscema.
So that's another credit you could give John Buscema, other than Braun. You know,
I believe this is her first appearance, because this is the story of her son.
All right,
turning against her father, his father.
So he created Vanessa.
Well, I used Bront as the only creation, as in the world, character and the world, not just a character, not the first person to draw a character. He came up with a concept. He came up with the world. He designed it and plotted it.
Yeah, but here he showed the world where Kingpin puts his will into this dress, you know.
Yeah, but it's also quite interesting that I would really say that the best characterization of the Kingpin came really in the Daredevil TV show in the first season. Also, the story was Vanessa. That was really well done. With the white painting, the snow was very well done. Excellently done.
And over here, Spider-Man smacking the shit out of Kingpin.
Yeah. And what a brilliant idea of Frank Miller's to take the Kingpin into the crime lord of New York and have Daredevil be his nemesis. Very brilliant.
And just have that be able to go across the whole Marvel EU, a character you could use across everything. Like, this is an evil protagonist within our whole city, regardless of what title you're in. Like, this is a big bad. So one of those very crossover characters that you could bring across any title in Marvel.
Well, it's also interesting that Stan Lee really went into the street level crime with the Kingpin and everything. That was quite interesting.
And look at this Black Widow with the movie just coming out and all. Of course, why not mention some Black Widow?
I was about to post that. Maybe I will post it later. But this is really Romita created the cat suit. That's basically not John Buscema, but this is from Amazing Adventures. This is her first solo outing, and it's so interesting.
Solo is by John.
But it's so interesting. It's so interesting that that John was really the go-to guy for all these first couple of issues because he only did the first 2 issues, and he did the first 2 issues of Nova. He did the first 3 issues of Ms. Marvel. He did the first issue of She-Hulk. So he was really the pilot guy. He was the guy to lay down the groundwork. So this is what the visual style will be for this series. I think that was really his job. And what we also see in the next, if we go to the next page, we also see here very much the influence of the romance comics. I showed you 2 not this one. Go to the next one. And here we see really
look at those. Look at those eyes.
This is working on the romance comics, and this is once again inked by John Thornton, who's a great inker for this kind of stuff.
And if you watch the movie, you definitely need to see that tie-in. Which is awesome.
Guardian.
Yeah, the Red Guardians. Yeah, not Black Widow's husband.
No, I noticed from the trailers, and also
they changed that.
Not the fittest guy, also obviously.
Apparently,
not today.
Hey man, you know what? He had COVID beer. That's a beer belly. That's all. Hey.
Once again, the romance skills show here. She could also be Mary Jane. I mean, this is very much the romance book here, the romance angle.
You definitely see it, man. They really changed her up, a lot. It's much more intrigue, much more of an interesting character, I think.
Yeah, but I think the best Black Widow still goes to Alan Weiss and Bill Everett. This is John Buscema, inked by Klaus Janson.
Klaus again. Look at that. Klaus is killing it, bro.
With washes and ink. With washes by Klaus.
Look at this. Look at this. This is gorgeous, bro. This is my shit, yo.
And this is young Jane Grey.
Wow.
This is Phoenix.
Oh, really? Check that out.
Yeah, go to the next page.
Oh,
here we go.
Where is this from, Chris?
This is Bizarre Adventures number 29.
Wow, yo. There you go, folks. Bizarre Adventures 29. Look at this. This is beautiful. I've never seen this, Chris. Thank you.
I had this issue in the early 80s. And that was how I learned that was how I learned what the word deceased meant. Because it said right at the beginning, deceased character. I said, what is this? She's dead?
Gotcha. This looks gorgeous. Wow, look at those pencils. And again, black and white just turns me on, bro. That's my shit. Oh, there we go. Talking about Daredevil, right?
John doing Daredevil. Very, very interesting.
Look at that.
That's Jim Mooney inks, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Jim Mooney.
And look at him though. Again, drawing a character that's all red. It's important to be able to throw in that shading, and he does it so well.
And just in case you're wondering what's going on in the first panel, Daredevil had his head in a noose just a page earlier because the jester had him in a noose.
Oh, whereas he was trying to breathe again. Poor guy. He didn't see it coming, huh?
He wanted to publicly hang the man. But it's also, I like the way the radar sense works here. He took that from Hollywood, obviously, but it's very well done.
Yeah. that was a character that's cool. As a kid, I didn't much lean towards him.
Oh, I loved that devil.
I always
Because
leaned before when it came to Marvel. I always leaned towards Cap. I love
No,
Cap because one of my earlier issues was the Scourge storyline, where you got this guy killing all these bad guys, and Cap is like, trying to stop it. So this is why I leaned towards him. It was like, there was so much death, evil killing evil, but then good having to stop evil because it's not right to kill all the evil. You know what I mean? So it's moral lessons.
But reading these comics in Germany was okay. We had Wally Wood. I had no idea who Wally Wood was. And when we got to the Gene Colan stuff, I was really like, okay, I love this character. I really love this.
Oh, and talking about Cap, you bastards!
Here we go. I shared this on Twitter.
Look at this.
Fairly popular.
Gorgeous.
This is very nicely done. You only did one issue.
What issue is this from?
This is 126 or 27, something like that. It's very early in the run because they started with number 100.
Okay.
And this is very early in the run. This is where, as you can see, where they switch appearances. So Cap becomes the Red Skull.
Basically, so this is that time of the original storyline that everybody wanted to kill Nick Spencer over.
Yes, exactly. That's why I posted it. This Hydra because I was alluding to this.
He went off Twitter. He goes, "Just see me on Instagram. Twitter's a motherfucker."
I trusted this.
And look at this. But look at this, folks. I mean, why you guys getting bothered by what Nick did? I mean, they did shit like that before. Look at this.
Absolutely.
They did it with the Red Skull. I mean,
he became the Red Skull, and for a couple of issues, and they kept it ongoing for a couple of issues. And he had to hide from the law. This is
my God.
Kazar, when Kazar had his own black and white magazine. Those were the days.
How beautiful is this page, folks?
Look at it. And you know how inked this? This is once again Neil Adams.
Really, Neil? Wow, bro.
Well,
arrogant bastard. I love it. Thank you.
It's credit to the Krusty Bunkers, but this is clearly Neil Adams, I would say. Dave, you probably agree, right? This is
I think. I mean, there's quite a bit of Neil on that page, but again, it's silhouettes, backgrounds, all linked by others. Yeah, I mean, even Joe Rubenstein was doing work for Krusty Bunkers then as well.
Krusty Bunkers? What the hell is that's the guy's name?
No, it was the name
just a pen. That's like a studio name. It's the studio name.
Krusty Bunkers. What a name.
Well, the guys in the bunker. Like, just as Marvel was the Marvel bullpen. So,
gotcha.
Neil had the Krusty Bunkers, those guys in the bunker with him.
Okay, so Krusty Bunkers. Was anybody called Shitflake?
Yeah, but once again, Tony DeZuniga on here, Krusty Bunkers, but also in the next pages we see Tony DeZuniga. And I really like Tony DeZuniga.
Oh, Tony! Oh, Big Tone!
Yes.
Wow.
Here we have Tony. Woo! We have Tony. And you know who these two women? You know who these two women are? One is Sheena, and the other is Bobby Morse, who will become Mockingbird.
Wait. This is Sheena? This is Sheena? Or this is Bobby?
No, yeah. The first one is Sheena, and the other one is Bobby. The one with the glasses is Bobby, because Kazar was Bobby Moore's boyfriend originally.
Check this out.
Then he met Sheena, or is it Shana? Shana, not Sheena.
Shana.
He met Shana and said, well, basically, okay.
So Mockingbird likes them wild, huh? Hey, Dave, man, you got a chance there. Mockingbird likes them wild, bro. You got a shot, bro.
So I got my perfect match here.
This is crazy, really. So Kazar was pimping like that in the Marvel U?
Wow. Oh, look at him. I mean, he looks like a god.
Blonde god. Yeah, you know why? Because Al Muggle wasn't there with his long hair. They made me show off my long hair like Samson, bro.
Yeah, you're the wild man.
Oh, look, that's my big homie right there, looking like a Puerto Rican with a long ass knife about to fucking stab somebody. I love it.
Yeah, maybe Conan is from Puerto Rico. We don't know.
Yeah, why not? I mean, that's why I like the character.
Yeah.
He's as dark as I am. I mean, fucking Florida sun has been has my skin going nuts. Right now, I'm two-tone like a motherfucker. You guys have no idea.
Wow. Oh, we can see that. Wow, amazing.
Yeah, you've got
two-tone.
You're like mine.
Wow.
That's what happens when you drive a car in Florida, folks. Only half your arm gets suntanned. Yeah. I gotta go to the beach and fucking catch up. How do I cover the rest of this? What should I wear so I can catch up?
Well, it's so interesting if you go back to the original Conan run. They exposed him to the sun, and then his skin became very pink for the remainder of the run. Yeah, look
I'm not white. It's true. I'm not a white boy though. Yeah. I don't turn pink.
Yeah, he turned pink.
I don't turn pink. I'm Puerto Rican. I turn browner every day.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I look like that good pig that Lance had over the weekend. Oh my God! Yeah, this is beautiful artwork. I mean, you can't be Big John on Conan. I missed that. I mean, everybody. There's a lot of people that listen. They do great work on the current Conan run. But listen, please go back to this and study this carefully. Creators that doing Conan now and try to capture this again. This is what needs. This is Conan.
Yeah,
this
is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, look, bro, look at the intensity of the barbarian just right there in and of itself. I mean, and then here they show you like, this is a big dude that you want to fuck with. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's also you also get the sense this is a fairly civilized world, and then there's murder around the corner.
I mean, right there, exactly. I mean. Homie's about to get his balls cut off because he fucked the mayor's wife or some shit. This is what happens in Conan. And look at this color work too. Thank you for the right browning of the character.
Yep.
I mean, but look at this beautiful color work, line work, and just a story told on those panels, the bubbles, the lettering. Yeah. I mean, perfection from the time, especially as a fan of Conan. As much as I love Conan now, I think Ablaze is coming maybe close to this, as I have mentioned. But Marvel is not doing this again. Marvel doesn't even go back to how awesome they were doing it. It doesn't feel as authentic as Ablaze does it.
Yeah. And this is from the Merlin book which we're talking about.
Oh man. I agree with Dave 100 from his earlier comment. If John B was alive now and had his hands on the Lord of the Ring comics, it would be the best-selling comic in history. In history, right?
Yeah, or Game of Thrones, if he was doing Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oh my God! Could you fucking imagine a Game of Thrones by John B today? Holy shit, bro!
And then you put it out as the real ending. And it will sell through the roof.
Yeah. Oh my God. Right. Yeah. I mean, this is gorgeous. This is the Game of Thrones, right? Just seeing. Look at the way he draws, man. I mean, this is what this is, bro. What an amazing, amazing artist, bro. God bless, man. I so wish that we could live so many more years and have energy, so he could have continued, to entertain us.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Andy! Get the fuck out of here!
Dave reminded me that he did the Indiana Jones adaptation, and it's very faithful to the movie. And once again, our man from Germany is inking, Klaus.
Yeah,
Klaus is on the inks.
Big fucking Klaus, bro. That homie's a boss, son. Look at this. This looks great, yo. I mean, Harrison Ford wish he could still look like this. Are they trying to kill him by doing a new Indiana Jones, bro? I hope
he already got injured on the set.
That's what I'm saying.
He probably gets injured when he crosses the street. I mean,
what's homie's name? What's homie's name that did the movie Ice Road just recently?
Oh, and Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson. He goes, bro, I don't understand at my age why they still want to hire me to do action movies. I really can't do this anymore.
Yeah, but Liam Neeson's Irish. He's tough as nails, and he's still very fit. Okay,
he is.
And this is from a graphic novel John colored himself.
Oh,
So these are his colors.
Oh my God, guys, you're gonna make me spend so much money because I told wifey that my mission. I'm gonna, folks. I'm saying it here on International Comic Crusaders.
And he was.
I'm gonna sell all of my collection so I could buy all.
And he was doing this in '97. So when he was close to 60.
Oh wow, bro, you heard me. I want to sell the majority of my collection. I'm only gonna keep Spawn, certain first apps, but all my Valiant, all my other key issues, gone. I'm selling them because I want to buy everything Conan from Marvel from back in the day. That's my.
You're in luck. There are a couple more pages from this book.
Oh God, you're gonna fucking torture me now. Right after this podcast, apparently I'm about to spend some money on a graphic novel. Please don't tell my wife.
No,
she doesn't watch the podcast.
It's called Conan the Rogue. So here you go.
You've got family in the
bastard.
house. You've got
they left. The Rogue. Oh, okay. Hold on, you bastards. The Rogue. Hold on. Chris keeps selling me here. He's me. What I do to my friends, that's what he does to me. I love you for that, bro.
Yeah. Well, Chris,
I should post this on Twitter because everybody's going on eBay and going to look for that book.
Yeah, I'm about to buy this shit now, bro.
Well, you should have Amazon links so that you could sort of get your affiliate program.
Oh no, I have an affiliate. Listen, I just you know what? I get it. You're right. I got to share this stuff, folks. I'm gonna start sharing my affiliate links, and starting next show. Give us some love for putting you on. For real. Okay. And look at this. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. Bro, Chris, what are you doing to me? I think I got a fucking bastard, bro.
I'd love to see the originals for this because I look at this and it's all I don't know if it's the printer production, but the yellows have been really pumped up and
oh my God.
And it Chris, gives them an almost jaundiced look.
Chris, on eBay, as high as 100, as low as 23. Okay, if I go 23. Through thrift books,
23 sounds decent.
Conan the Rogue by John Maddox Roberts, right?
Yeah. It's by John Buscema and Roy Thomas. It's a Marvel graphic novel.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. This is the novel.
No. You need the Marvel. Exactly, you need the Marvel graphic novel.
There it goes. Yep, still $30, bro. On the low end.
Hang on, I can show the cover.
Oh my God. Okay, you guys are gonna make me spend 30 beans today. This is beautiful. People, look what these guys do to me. This is why I hang out with them. This is my wife. This is why my wife gets upset. She's like,
we're all nerds here.
Where did you get that? And I'm like, oh, because Chris told me I should buy it.
So I'm going to share. Hang on, I'm going to share the cover so you buy the right.
Oh my God!
Yes, isn't that nice?
Oh my God! Look at this, bro. I mean, look how he draws chicks, bro. I mean, this is the stuff that I grew up reading, folks. I was seeing naked ladies because of Conan.
Don't we all? So hang on, it's just there. So that's the cover you need to look for.
Okay, hold on. Where did you send it? Okay, great. Hold on, folks. Just be. Holy fucking shit! You bastards! Oh my God. Okay, after this, I'm gonna spend some money. You guys are playing, but I bet you on our next podcast, I'm gonna be like, Chris, look what I got.
Oh yeah.
Watch. I'm gonna prove it to you guys next show. Because I'm about
it looks, it is all in this quality. It's about 60, 70 pages. You can't go wrong with this one.
Look how beautiful this is. Oh my God. Look how gorgeous that cover is.
Is that Joe Jusko cover?
I think it is.
It looks like Joe Jusko work.
Yeah, it looks very much like it. I haven't checked it, but I think it is.
Okay, man, you guys are gonna make me spend money.
It's
like my boy Hans.
And for the kids, those were sold as hardcovers in shrink wrap.
Listen, I have a friend of mine that is buying all the hardcover omnibuses. If you saw him on Now Wepa show last night, check it out with Hans. and he actually has the whole Conan issue run. So I'm
Whoa.
hopefully I could convince him to hold that for me, because I need to buy that, and that would help me. And then all I would need to get is just the mini series and graphics like this. I have a mission, folks. I need to have the whole run. I have the key issues, but I don't have the whole run. So if anybody wants to donate to my cause, you could just, you laugh right now.
Read those in the 80s. Wow,
You know what?
Takes me back.
I love that he's laughing, but right now, folks, if you want to donate to Almega's cause of getting, just go to Cash App and send it to Comic Crusaders.
Yes, send us some money. Support us.
Please, and I'll show off these awesome covers, and I'll even do auctions. I'll give shit up.
But you can do it. You can do an unboxing.
Oh, definitely. But look what you're doing to me. I mean, look at this work, bro. John Buscema was a goddamn beast. And look, this is where Valiant got its logo from. That looks like the Valiant logo.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, Valiant Generation 1. Look, I'm serious.
Wow, interesting. When did that come out?
In the 90s.
Oh, it's probably the same time.
Holy shit, bro. That looks at the Valiant logo in his eyes. Insane. And that, remember, Valiant was Jim Shooter, so.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this, bro. Indiana Jones getting smacked up by a chick, bro. Snuffs.
Yeah, that's from the movie. That's Marion. That's a scene in the bar. Those got a little bit mixed here. I think we have more Conan, do we? Yeah, we have more.
Oh, yes, we do.
Those got mixed. Those got mixed.
Oh,
but it's funny. It's like you can see, like, if you go back to that Raiders, page,
yeah, look at that.
Clearly, like, I think that John just did loose breakdowns because
he did.
Yeah, and
there's so much detail in this versus this.
Yeah. Well, I think it's clearly they were on the clock. They were on the clock to finish that Indiana Jones.
I agree,
and you can also see that was not a labor of love. Versus we talked about the Close Encounter adaptation by Walt Simonson. No, that was a gorgeous looking book.
I want to say this though, because listen, I agree with Dave here. Look at her face here, right? And then look at this lady. Look at the difference in the detail, just in the eyes in themselves, as opposed to the last one. So I agree with Dave that there seems to be a huge rush between the two. This is something that people took their time.
But it also is clearly something John was enjoying drawing versus the others.
I think that Indiana Jones might have actually been something that John might have well liked to actually do. It was a period piece. It was
but look at this to that. But bro. I mean, I think there was a fast pace to it, as opposed. This is something that you take your time with. Just looking at this one image here.
Oh, I mean, go to the next page as well. And
oh god, you guys are gonna murder me. Look, oh god, look at this.
Jesus. But also, I mean, those graphic novels were sold retailed at what was it, $20, versus the other one was a comic book, a special comic books.
No, not 20. I think they were like $9.99 to $12.99 back then for the graphic novel prestige format, at the similar size of a black label, folks. So Marvel did it first back in the day.
Yeah, but they were hardcover, and they were also outside the comic code, so there was a lot of sex and violence in those.
Of course, it's Conan, bro. There ain't no sex and no violence. It ain't Conan.
I agree.
Look at him. I mean, look at that look. Homie coming down the hood, looking at you like that. What you gonna do? You know, Chris is gonna grow his hair back instantly.
Here's my wallet.
Yeah. But also Conan is not the idiot you think he is. I mean, he's got that figured out. He's cunning. He's smart.
Yeah, eventually that's why he becomes king, because homie knows what he's doing, and he's battle tested. So he's like, you know, this is why I connect with Conan, because he's like a homie from the hood that grew up in a crazy life and be still like, yo, I'm gonna achieve a goal and I'm gonna get it done one way or another.
Yeah. Conan is street smart.
Yeah, I love this. This is why I think Conan is such an ill character. He is street smart. That, you know, again, I don't want to see him in the current time period. Just go back to these stories to show how a king is made.
Absolutely.
I mean, again, look at this. Oh God, look at this. Look at this motherfucker right here. I mean, you just want to punch him in the face immediately.
Yeah, I'm
Look
looking
at
at the woman. I'm looking at that woman. So,
I know,
Oh
right
yeah.
here, Red Sonja, right? Is that Red Sonja? She
no,
looks like Red
No.
Sonja.
no. It's a noble lady who joins Conan on his quest, of course, and loses half
A
of her clothes.
noble
apparently.
lady.
Here we go.
Wearing
look at
that
the-
fur. Wait a minute. Is she wearing fur, or is that her?
Yeah.
Or is that her snack?
No. We are. This is a family joint here. No. We saw her before when she was. We saw her. We saw her. We saw. Okay. So we saw her before. Look at the violence here. There's a shot where this goes to the guy's face, but I thought it was a little bit too graphic for our podcast. But there's a close up of this thing going through the guy's face because Conan gets that weapon and kills him with his own weapon.
Yo, bro, and he's uppercutting him like Mike Tyson too, right there, yo.
Well, I think that also connects very nicely to the Tarzan pictures we looked at earlier on. That this is very much the same.
Again, this is comic books to me, folks. This is what I enjoy. This is comics, you know. Ain't no woke shit. It's just some person trying to survive a very barbaric life.
Yeah,
that's why I love this comic.
That's what we call toxic masculinity.
Apparently, this is toxic masculinity. Why? A homie trying to survive? Stop it, man. Stop that bullshit labeling already, you know? And it's okay to be masculine. Shut the fuck up. I hate that. I got to be crying over everything.
What will you do if there's a war? Throw your soy bars, people?
I'm gonna throw soaps at people, bro. Apparently, in my comic books, I want to sharpen the edges of my binders over here. Oh, all right, but bro, you know this is fun stuff. This is great stuff. I grew up on this shit, and then I hate, you know, I don't read into things. That's just me, though. You know, I know we're not a political show or anything. What you saying? I don't read into things. I enjoy things for the nature of it, and it's just fun. And I'm not to say, oh, he's being so macho. Like, get over that. It's just. You know, enjoy the content. It's fun. Look at this homie over here trying to survive. Your crocodiles, fucking dinosaurs. I mean, this is fun stuff, bro. He got hot chicks. So what?
Yeah.
You know, she got to choose to want them. And, you know, Conan don't rape nobody. They always say, all right, homie, bring it on.
But he's the strongest and he's the fittest. I mean, that's how nature works.
Conan is the homie, kid. I mean, what's this? Oh man, what's this?
That's the last page of Indiana. Once again, we got this mixed up, but it's no problem. So we end with this shot, and this is the image they stole for the X-Files pilot. This is where the arc goes, the Ark of the Covenant goes in the end.
Gotcha. So you could really see a tie-in from this to X-Files, huh?
Oh yeah, that's how the X-Files, the pilot ends with the same shot. They reference this.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful. Oh, classic. Wepa, look at this.
Now that's
wonderful.
See,
that's transfer.
Yeah. So
that's a British comic.
Yeah. So this is when I truly discovered Marvel. I sort of picked up the odd issue, or I'd been given the odd issue beforehand. I was vaguely familiar with some of the characters because they'd been reprinted in older British comics a few years earlier. But this is the first time where Marvel set up a UK operation and started publishing their own comics in the UK as weeklies. And so it started with this, The Mighty World of Marvel. And the first issue had Spider-Man, Hulk, and the Fantastic Four.
Cool.
So obviously Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, like, what a great introduction to the Marvel Universe.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
But this was a new cover that was actually done for it by John Buscema and inked by Frank.
Nice.
Yep, and inked by Frank Giacoia. But so it was like, it was, we all have, those comics that, like, I couldn't possibly remember the first comic I ever read, but as far as my introduction to Marvel, this was the one. This was the one that really put me on the path to picking up and buying Marvel comics on a regular basis, and this was 1970.
Oh. Wow. How many pages was that?
That would have been probably 48 pages.
Wow.
Poor Black Panther. You're gonna put him up against the Hulk? Are you fucking serious?
See, again, I picked another cover that John did this annual, did the entire annual, but that cover was like, again, when you're a kid and wow, it's the Avengers versus the Avengers.
Why are the good guys fighting? Oh my god!
It's such a trope, but it's fun.
But it's a trope, but it wasn't then. Like it wasn't like so. You know, again, it was like the first time they were doing this stuff, and like, wow, okay, this is cool. So this is when you like, there's the stuff that we look at of John Buscema's that is clearly great, was clearly groundbreaking, was clearly, he did his great run here. But I think, when it comes to personally, when you think of things that personally, there's certain bits of artwork that you go back and you remember and you go like, oh yes, yeah, that I always remember. That's cool. I think like last week I shared that there was the big Marvel poster that I showed, and again, that was one of those things that I just loved. I used to have on my bedroom wall.
That was also a great period for the Avengers. I mean, this was when the team was reduced to Hawkeye, Goliath, and the Wasp, and the Black Panther showed up, and that was really a very cool team. Also, a very limited team.
And Captain America, but it was.
No, Cap was only there occasionally, actually.
Let's get real here, though. Let's get real here. Hulk wins, Thor wins, Iron Man wins, possibly a tie.
Oh yeah, but you gotta, it's like, you gotta read it.
Of course you do. Oh shit, bro! Now, attack, Avengers! We have been deceived. Tis said a man and wolf do work nearby.
Yeah, but again,
see them not.
Yeah, this is the first appearance of Red Wolf.
And I love this version of Iron Man right there. My favorite.
Yeah.
Bro. My fucking favorite. Bro.
Yeah.
Right here, bro. Right here. Right here, guys. Look.
Show us.
Hold on. Let me get that screen going, bro.
You got your action figure out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got action figures out because this is what Omega does.
Of course.
There you go. See?
Yeah, here we go. That's excellent.
Isn't that cool?
But that's not that one.
No, it's not that one. But it's the suit right after. But it's kind of the same body.
It's very close.
The mask, the headgear changes, but not much of the body.
Yeah.
This is why I enjoy that suit. I the other ones I'm not too much of a fan of.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the classic design.
Yeah, man, bro. I mean, that shit is fire, bro.
It all goes back to Steve. It all goes back to Steve Ditko.
Mr. Ditko, and of course we go back to now a black and white version of that.
Yeah, just include that. But again, that's such a classic.
Oh yeah. And as I said, it features in a Richard Gere movie. So here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, and this one is another cover and comic book that I patched up several times.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, it as Chris said earlier, John Buscema did. I think it was 9 of the first 10 issues.
Yeah, but also he did the last couple of issues of Tales to Suspense, where the storyline started.
Yeah.
But to this day, I will always give. I mean, I love Buscema on Submariner, but I think I give Gene Colan the edge there.
Oh, but look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, but they also teamed up and they became friends. So here you go.
Yeah, of course they did. It's standard fare. You fight, and then you become like lifelong buddies until you have to fight again.
Yeah, and they're also good pairing.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, the thing should be able to smash the shit out of Submariner, in my opinion.
No, not necessarily. If they're fighting in water.
Yeah, exactly. And
but I'm not stupid. If I'm the thing, I'm gonna fight him on land. Like, you come out your element. I'm not gonna fight him in his element, so that way I can smash the shit out of him.
I mean, but just to think about it, I mean, it was Namor versus the original Torch that really started the Marvel Universe in the 40s. I mean, that was the blowout issue where the Torch and Namor fought. I mean, this is amazing how long these characters, even in the 60s, when they brought them back there, they had been around for... Namor was popular in the 50s. I mean,
I just want to say that based on Dave's comment, now I understand why the U.S. got liberated from the Brits. That is why we beat you, bro. You're like, well, let's just fight in the water. Yo, bro, you're weak there. Come on now.
Oh, it was actually more along the lines of the British were so used to fighting sort of against like the French armies and things like that, where everyone just marched into battle in full regalia in formation, that wasn't.
You guys lined up for death. What's wrong with you?
But it's also. I mean, it's also the first Civil War. I mean, it's amazing how that went, because it was also a civil war.
Listen, bro. I'm not gonna be no idiot. If I'm the general, there's like assholes. Why we got it going forward in a line? Let's divide and conquer and fucking flank. All right, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
Economics.
No, I did. No, I posted. I gave.
What the fuck is this? Don't tell me this is Conan.
Oh no, it's Akron. No, it's Akron.
Yeah,
Akron.
First.
Archon.
Yep.
Archon, everybody, is the day the Earth exploded, and we didn't notice because we farted and everything just went blank.
And he actually came back several times, and he was also in a very great X-Men annual.
Yeah,
which George Parrish. Yes, George Parrish could do that one. Yeah. Very good one.
I mean, this is the gorgeous cover, though. But come on, man, a guy in the fur underwear is going to be beating everybody, including Scarlet Witch. Seriously?
Yeah, Loki can throw lightning. He's like Zeus.
Oh no!
There was a little bit more to him than being that, but.
Hey, listen, bro. We're in America. We judge about how you look. Like, oh, this motherfucker in fur underwear. What you gonna do? And obviously, we'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, look at homie. This is how I picture Dave dressing in England right now with a nice blue cap and shit.
Yeah, no chance.
With a cigar.
Talking about, I got my whole shit coming right now.
But this was interesting, because this is all of a sudden it's like they're not being funded by Tony Stark anymore, so the Avengers need money.
Yeah. Oh, really? This is like the Avengers on welfare or some shit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah,
what we call working.
Yeah.
Hey, but why they got the Black Panther, the one having to be mining like that, when you have this big homie? How dare you? How dare you use us in this way?
Well, that's the 60s. That's the 60s. An old white man doing comic books.
I know.
And Scarlet Witch apparently is doing nothing. Scarlet Witch is apparently doing nothing but looking pretty.
Bro, this Dr. Doom is D-Doom right there, bro.
Well, I've been I included this and the three pieces that follow it. So those 4 pages, because in the when I showed you that Mighty World of Marvel cover. So when I finally discovered that, they're American comics and I can find them on Spinnerax in the UK.
Nice.
The very first issue of the Fantastic Four I bought was issue 125 off the racks, which was the origin issue, but done by John Buscema.
Wow! Check you out. What a way to start, Dave.
And this was a 4-page centerfold. So there was glossy paper in the center of it.
Look at this. You got that, you got that, you got that, and you got that. Oh, these shit. Bro, look at this. Again, bro, I just love his Galactus, bro. Fuck, bro. Look at this.
Yeah.
We won't see Galactus like that ever again. I don't give a fuck who draws them. This is it.
Yep.
Oh my god, and very Jack Kirby-ish of a version of a Hulk here. It looks like Jack. It looks like Ernest Borgnine and shit.
Yeah.
And of course, the iconic now in black and white. I mean, that's John B, bro.
Yeah.
That's a T-shirt right there.
That's a devil. That's a devil.
One of the few times that I've actually been sort of tempted to buy a Marvel statuette of any kind was when Marvel did a statue of that drawing.
Oh, fuck yeah,
wow.
bro. Here's my money. Here's my money. Don't tell my wife, but here's my money.
Yeah, I was very tempted.
Holy shit, don't eat this, Superman. Stop lying.
Yeah, that's the crossover. Superman, Doctor Doom, Spider-Man.
Oh shit, look at that.
And that's Parasite.
But with Parasite.
Exactly. That's the second crossover.
Look how awesome that. Wow, he drew Superman so great. Look at that.
Yeah. Now there's a very interesting story behind this page and the following page. And there's several pages in that issue. So while John Buscema drew the book, and Joe Sinnott did the bulk of the inking on the book, mostly all the figure work. A lot of the backgrounds in this were they got other inkers in, so people like Terry Austin.
Okay.
But on that page, if you look at the wall that Superman's just smashed through, and then in the fourth panel, the cables and everything, the machinery that he's thrusting at Parasite to keep him away, were all inked by Walt Simonson.
Oh wow! Yeah, you can see that. You can see that actually.
Yeah, you can see it. Once you know it, you go, "Oh shit, yeah, that's Walt Simonson."
Yeah.
And the same.
I mean, I really love this. Normally, they kind of put in with the whole red eyes, but just stick even with the normal eyes and show the power. I mean, this looks so awesome. And it doesn't look as scary for a Superman. You know what I mean? That his eyes just start glowing red and shit, like some fucking psycho. Oh my God, look at this, bro.
He did a great Superman. He did a great Superman.
He did. Yeah. He fucking did. And even, I mean, with the Spider-Man mix there, man, I mean, look at that. Look at this, bro. Look at this shit, bro. It is fucking dope. Oh my God. God bless. Oh, what's this?
Well, this was a poster that was given away in sometime in the first year of Mighty Word of Marvel, and it's again as the first cover of the book. It was drawn by John Buscema and inked by Frank Giacoia. It's funny. I just tried doing a search because I wasn't sure, because everything there's so much got reprinted from the US. So even we had this poster, I was thinking, where did it originally appear? And I tried doing a search for it, and everything just came up the Mighty Word of Marvel. So there was a lot of original artwork was produced, particularly for covers and splash pages in Mighty Word of Marvel. Jim Starlin got his break doing splash pages and covers for the Mighty Word of Marvel. But yeah, this was this probably has not been seen by many people. So I thought, hey, include this.
Great.
And it was on my wall for a long, long time. And I know Chris had some pages from Indiana Jones, but I included some black and white, which stands to do with some artwork.
Actually, looks better in black and white.
Yeah, I mean, you could imagine this with just a little bit of grey wash on it. It would have looked nice, yeah. Or even sepia tone, make it look like a old cereal, Republic cereal.
Oh my God, look at this.
A little bit of that.
This is beautiful, man. Now, I've seen these in like 50-cent boxes. This is something I need to pick up then. Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, there was, I think it was, the adaptation was worth picking up. And I think the first couple of issues of the Marvel book were by John Byrne. So worth picking up.
Yeah.
And in fact, actually, one of the best artists on Indiana Jones was Dan Barry, who is probably better known for sort of his Flash Gordon work. He did an amazing run on Indiana Jones.
All right.
Wow, Indiana Jones, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God, folks! Could you believe it? But I want to show this though, because this is an image we got definitely right there. This is the man
Amazing.
we have been talking about.
Amazing.
Giovanni
Amazing talent.
Natali Buscema, aka Big John Buscema, born December 11, 1927, and left us on January 10th, 2002. To the Buscema family, thank you so much, man. Big John meant a lot to us. So,
Yeah,
rest in
definitely.
peace, and a big salute to the amazing creator that he was. And I hope people that are inspired from him really take the narrative of what he was trying to do and fulfill it. Because I need to see Conan in his style again. Por favor. Wow, bro, this is great. We actually finally made it through. Folks, you see what would have happened last time? That would have went
So I was 10 years off. Can you believe he did that Conan book? You're going to buy it when he was 70 years old. Can you believe that?
Insane. And still going out there and working. It is. He was still out there working and producing quality on that scale at that age. I mean, wow. I mean, that's a craftsman. That's a journeyman. That's a person that loves what they do and put their heart into what they love. And it was very apparent always with John Buscema, for real. When he loved it, he loved it.
Yeah, I mean, those DC pages I included that haven't seen
that Superman before. Is gorgeous. I mean, I can't imagine if he did a whole run of Supes.
But that was what he was working on when he died. So he was still working right to the end.
That sucks, man. Again, show love and bring them flowers to the creators while we have them now. We don't want them dying at the drawing table, not knowing how much they
give credit, give artists proper credit, and don't rip their work to pieces. You see, they all had to learn their craft, and we talk shit about modern comics, but there's also many talented artists out there who try their best, and don't be so critical on these people all the time.
That you could be constructive, but not critical. You know what I mean? Like, unless you could draw on their level, shut the fuck up. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you like something, then yes, let people know that you like it. But if you don't like it, just go like, don't even bother. Why comment?
Why even comment at the end of the day? Yeah. You know what? And I said this to somebody one day when they were wondering why Comic Crusaders doesn't want to attack stuff. I'm like, because that's not our narrative, bro. Oh, but sometimes you got to be critical. Sure, I'll leave that up to you. But for us, we're gonna celebrate what we love, not what we hate. And I mean, it's really simple. I mean, that's why our energy is different from anybody else. You guys want to go out there and talk about these stupid things that sometimes that we're trying to get away from. Not that they're stupid, but we're just trying to get away from certain things sometimes.
I mean, sometimes
I want to make sure that my platform is about getting away, not about being still involved in the current narrative. I mean,
celebrate the medium.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to be a little critical or you have to be not quite negative, but like, we've pointed out on several times, like Stan Lee wasn't the be all and end all of Marvel comics.
He wasn't.
And you can't give the proper credit without having to take that away from someone to give it to the right person. Like Stan Lee did so much for comics in general.
He did.
I mean, he wasn't perfect. He didn't create everything, but it wouldn't have happened without him. And he did so much to add to that, just the existence of Marvel. So,
of course.
So there's plenty of credit to go around, and he deservedly should have what he deserves to have. He should have that and be allowed to own it.
Of course. But we should also allow people like a John Buscema to have their shine and their moment, because without their influence or their contributions, we wouldn't have the Marvel we have today. What's a John and a Kirby and a Thomas and a Shooter and everybody. I call everybody that we've mentioned today.
Yeah,
I mean, they're key parts of this hobby that we love. So make sure to look back and reflect and see how awesome they were. We have great creators today, but without the creators of the past, we wouldn't have what we have today.
Yeah, there's also the Wally Woods and the Don Hex as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
All amazing artists in their own right, and they may not all be Jack Kirby's, but they're Wally Wood was the best Wally Wood artist around, and Don Heck was the best Don Heck artist around, and should be appreciated and praised for that, and shouldn't be allowed to be forgotten.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And folks, now I've been sharing at the bottom. I need you guys to do a couple of things here today. Please follow us on Twitter at ICC on CC, or on Facebook at International Comics Crusaders. Also, make sure to check out all the content at comiccrusaders.com, on thecovercapes.com. And Chris, before we leave, you know me, I got a lot of your plug moment. Where are we at with the book, man?
Still doing the revisions, and then it goes to a test audience of 1. I have a publisher who's going to read it.
Oh, look at this guy scoring people to check out his job. Ooh!
We will see. We will see.
Anything that I could do to help you, bro, you know that we're here, bro. I'm so proud of you that you took the leap, and look at you fucking killing it, getting a publisher to look it over. Much love, bro. Much success in that, and whatever again we could do to help.
Yeah, well, I will involve you, and I'm so eager to throw some material on Comic Crusaders, and you have the exclusive, of course, because I want to publish the prologue and the first chapter in any case on Comic Crusaders exclusively. But let me get some feedback on my work first. Maybe it's all shit. I don't know. We will see. Maybe it's good. I don't know.
Well, maybe I know it will be. Right, Dave?
Yeah, no. Well, you put that little tease. You put that little tease out earlier, and
I did.
Yeah.
I hope that was okay. I hope that was not too horrible.
Germans are such a tease, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us and showing some homage to the one and only John Buscema. That is no longer with us. Condolences to the family, of course, always, because he was an amazing creator, and we were always going to love him and be a fan of the work. Thanks, Chris and Dave, for putting together such awesome images.
There's so much stuff. I know Dave and me, we could have gone 4 or 5 more installments of this, because there's so much great art out there.
Well, we could have done a 4-hour segment on just Conan. So.
Just easy, absolutely. And maybe one day we will. But I know that next week, though, we're gonna cover something even more cool and more about that. Maybe closer to your hearts, folks, when it comes to fandom. So we'll announce what's going on during the week. With that, I'm Al Mega, with the usual suspects of Dave Elliott and Chris Buse. Make sure to check out Dave and Chris on Twitter and Instagram with the most amazing feeds ever. And Comic Crusaders on the cover capes. You know how we do. Much love, and hasta la próxima. Para que tú sepas.
Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen.
See ya.